Good day, everyone. By the way, my name is Edson Pansaan, and today I'm gonna discuss to you about the feminism. So, before anything else, I just wanna um, give you a brief um, definition of feminism. What is feminism? Because when we hear the word feminism, there's a lot of things that comes into our mind. Like we might think about gender, about equality, about the discrimination or the separation of men and women. But here we can think more about feminism. So let's move on. So here I quote some I one of the famous quote of Jane Tompkins. What emerges me is the way women are used as extensions of men, mirrors of men, devices for showing men off, devices of helping men get what they want. They are never there in their own right, or rarely. The world of the Western contains no women. So here you can see that uh, what Tompkins are really trying to imply is that there is a um, this distinction between men and women, and there is this inequality, imbalance between men and women. In the past, we know that for some reason there are people, or the society really reject the women, not totally reject, but the fact that they're they are powerless. They don't given a chance or opportunities to um, to get involved into a social issue such as economics, politics, or political, social, and even in education and health. So these are prohibited to them because the women at that time was stereotyped as a fragile, as a powerless human being. Going forward, as you can see here in the picture, you would probably know what it is. They are women. Now you see, what if there's no women in this world? What if we don't have mother? What if we don't have youngest sister, or sister? What if they are not exist? So what would probably happen, right? So these are the questions that we are trying um, to think of, because women, not only in our generation, but women as a general, are they are very important. Without them, we are not here in this world. Now, what is the meaning of feminism? As what I have said, there are a lot of things that we can remember, or we can think about feminism. Now, let's give a factual meaning about it. So, what is feminism? Feminism, according to Wikipedia, is a range of social movements, political movements, and ideologies that aims to define and establish the political, economic, personal, and social equality of the sexes. So, meaning feminism, it talks about the movements and the ideologies. When you say movements, it is a action. Um, it is a it is a it is a movement, or it is for us to fight something. We are doing something to reach our goal, um, to reach something. It depends on our objectives. That's what we call movements. When you say ideologies, it is a counterpart of um, what our beliefs are, principles in life. So here, feminism is one of the um, one of the greatest achievement in our history. It's a history in itself, because women are fight for their own rights and for their own liberty. Now here, as what I have said, there's a goal that the feminism or the feminist activists are trying to achieve. What is their goal? Their goal is to change this degrading view of women so that women will realize that they are not a non-significant other, but that instead each woman is a valuable person possessing the same privileges and rights as every man. So, um, it is clearly says here that their goal is to change this degrading view of women because they are treated as non-significant others. So meaning they are separated, they are um, they are they are viewed as a secondary to men, or they are a shadow of men. Now in a historical development, the roots of feminism criticisms lie in the early decades of the 20th century during what has been dubbed the progressive era. So here you can see that in this historical development, that the feminist was actually started, or the movement, the first wave of their movement was started during 20th century. If I'm not mistaken, it is between 19th and 20th century. And during this time, the women gained the rights to vote and became prominent activists in the social issues of the day. So here they already have the rights to vote. It was given already uh, the the right to involve in the social issues of that time, which is the healthcare, education, politics, and even the literature. But the equality with men in these arenas remain outside their grasp. So there's still a inequality between men and women. There's still a um, designation, or um, there's still a separation between them. So until in the 1919, the British scholar, teacher, and early feminist Virginia Woolf laid the foundation for feminist criticism in her work A Room of One's Own, in which she declared that men had treated women and continue to treat them as inferior. So here there's this Virginia Woolf, one of the feminist who fight for the for feminism, for their rights, the one who initiate everything. So Virginia Woolf was write a book, A Room of One's Own, which she declared that there's still an inferiorities between men and women at that time. So she also agreed with Samuel Taylor Coleridge, one of the foremost 19th century literary critics, that great minds possess both males and female characteristics. She believed that female Shakespeare could achieve literary prominence in the 20th century if women scholar, teachers, and critics would only pave the way. Because at this time, women and authors, especially the authors of the book, they are not acknowledged as the author. Their book wasn't not counted to as a literature, part of the literary works, because they are women, because they are because they are weak. I mean, women are branded as not that that important as how they viewed men at that time. So this is what Samuel Taylor Coleridge um, viewed, or his point of view. With the 1949 publication of the French writer Simon de Beauvoir's The Second Sex. So here, during this time in the 1949, um, going back, the revolution or the movement was being temporarily postponed because there's no progress until the 1960s, 1970, because during those time there is a World War II, and because of that, the attention of many, or the majority of people, and even the politics and all the people was diverted to the war. So during this time, there's no progress on the case or this issues of feminism. But those authors like Virginia Woolf and even Beauvois are continue on advocating towards feminism. And here, Beauvois declares that both French and Western societies are patriarchal. Patriarchal. When you say patriarchal, uh, they are following the hierarchy wherein the male is the sovereign, or the more authoritative and more or in the top compared to women. So they are in the authority compared to women. So whether you are in a, for example, in a company, so they're in the company, yes, they are allowed, the women are allowed to partake or to have their career, but they are not allowed to lead. They're not allowed to have their position. Like for example, they will be promoted as a manager, as a, that's not it won't never happen during this time. And like Wolf before her, Buber believed that the male in these societies defines what it means to be human, including therefore what it means to be female. Now moving forward in the 1960s, as what I have said, here there is a changes. Um, there is a movement again that happens, and here after the World War II, the activists or the feminists find their ways or find their voice to hear, so that the world would hear them, that they deserve they deserve to be treated as human being. They are human too, because uh, they are they are human, and they can do what male can do. So here they are um, more focusing on the literary, most especially those writers that was mentioned earlier, which is the Woolf, I mean Virginia Woolf and Beauvois. So they are one of the inspiration towards these movements. That's the reason why these movements was created, because they find more evidence to prove that there is this inferiorities happen during this time. So what happened is they gathered a lot of evidences, and they won against against they won for their rights, they won for their belief. So here is some of the uh, information that they are gathered. So first, there were types of women abounded in the canon. Women were sex maniac, goddess of beauty, mindless entities, or old Spencer. So second, wild Dickens, Wordsworth, and so on and so forth. So these are the things that they found out, or these are the things that they gathered during those times. They research in different books, in different perspective, most especially those authors that was related to this issue. So during this time, they gathered this to prove that there is this division between men and women. There is this overpower or abuse of power, or not equal giving or given the opportunities to everyone. So this see that women also is a human. They are not they are not like other people. They are not like other. They are not an animal, but they are also human. Now here during this time, during the 1960 and 1970, they already retrieve everything. They already have their own career. Women are started to work in the company. They already have their own position. They already have their own place, whatever life they could have in the society, or that was been not given to them, but now they already experience it all. They already have their education. They're able to go to the universities and colleges to enroll, and also they are involved in the social issues like political, economics, social, and, and even health. Now what happened here during this time, um although there is already in they are already given a chance to have their own education, what happened is when they go in enter in colleges, the books or the literature that was being used by the professors, because the professor at that time is male, during those time that the male and the female was merged already. So what happened is the literature that was the existing literature that was used by the professors was the book written by male. So what they want is they want a female authors. They want a female, the one who wrote is a female. So that's why they propose or they suggest those books that was written by the female, like for example Virginia Woolf, and in the 19th centuries. So here in America, Kate Chopin's late 19th century 19th century rather, the novel The Awakening served as the archetypal rediscovered feminist text of this period, while in the England, Doris Lessing's The Golden Notebook in the 1962, and in France, Monique Witting's Les Guerre-Livres in the 1969 fulfilled these rules. So until here, Ellen Showalter is one of the feminists, and coined the term criticism, has now become synonymous with the study of the women as writers, and provide critics with the four models concerning the nature of the women's writing that help answer some of the chief concern of the feminist criticism. So here, um, Ellen Showalter was the one who created the models that the women could she studied how women are, how they are how they write, what are their nature in writing, and so on and so forth. So this is what she found out. First is the biological model. So when you talk about biological, it involves the heredity and traits of women, so maybe about her father or mother or whatsoever. Next is the linguistic model. So it depends on the language he or she used. So basically, this time, feminism is not only happen in the Western country but also around the world, because during this time, other countries also are starting to notice this kind of issues in the society. So there is a what we call the world movement, I think so, because Pakistan at that time was also doing the same thing. Now, what else? The psychoanalytic model. So from the word psycho, meaning about the mental or the cognitive part, and the next and the last one is the cultural model. So it depends on the culture, it depends on the religion, it depends on their what they have as of the moment. So if they are, like for example, here in the Philippines, what are the mostly are the women are writing for, like we love this and that, we love that, like for example love story, something like that. Okay, so now here the British feminist declares itself to be more political than American feminist, advocating social change. So a British feminist, um, they are more liberated compared to the American feminists. They are keep on advocating, they keep on empowering women, and create a change in the society. And French feminism concentrates on the language, analyzing how meaning is produced through various linguistic symbols. Such an analysis usually leads these critics into other areas of the study, such as metaphysics, psychology, and art. So, here, French during this time was already been reached the 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 maximum, or they are already into psychology, into arts, and they are expanding their territories when it comes to giving rights to women, or everything that was being provided to them. It was already been expanded, and the horizon was the opportunity was being given to all women. And that's all. Thank you so much for listening, and God bless everyone.